Welcome back to my madness. Today we are doing a tutorial over this look right here. Yeah, I'm loving this lip combo. Like, I'm loving this lip combo. Unfortunately, I think it's time we said goodbye to my little holiday kit Steel Lip lipstick. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start using this. This is the Hello Kitty Colourpop. What is this called? Lippie Scrub and Pineapple Pop. I don't believe they sell this specific one anymore, but Colourpop has been releasing a lot of Lippie scrubs with their collections within like the last couple of years. It's really good. I actually quite enjoy it. We're gonna take just a little bit of this. It is a thicker consistency, which I actually quite like. And then I'm just gonna put some lip balm on. I'm sorry if I sound a little weird. My throat's kind of hurting. I think I'm catching a cold. But put some lip balm on top of that. I'm gonna put it on quite thick because I'm gonna wear a liquid lipstick today. So I wanna make sure that my lips are really nice and hydrated. And then we'll go ahead and start the eyes. The eyes need to be done first, for sure, for this look. So this is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eye Primer. This I've been using recently. I think I've used it in the last couple of my tutorials, which have been filmed months apart. Like, it's insane, but I have some energy today, so I wanted to get some filming done, and then I'll probably edit today too, because this is the only thing I have to edit. Blend that in. I enjoyed this shadow primer. At first I was a little iffy on it, but it's grown on me quite a lot since I've been using it more and more. I don't think it has as great a hold as my Smashbox one, but for like everyday wear, this is perfect. Like, it does have a nice hold, but I think the Smashbox one is just a little bit tackier, so things tend to last a little bit longer with that one. We're using pressed pigments today, so I like using them, but they can be a little pain sometimes. This is the Sephora Pro Pigment Palette in Cool. I'm not even sure if this is available anymore, but there are so many brands now that have single shadows and palettes that look very similar to this. You don't necessarily have to have this. These are pressed pigments, like I said, so they can be a little bit trickier to work with from time to time. We are going to start with this shade right here, which is called Mushroom. It's right there. It's this one. And we're gonna use that as our transition color today. Like I said, sometimes pressed pigments can be a little bit trickier to work with. They work, specifically these work a little bit better if you do tapping motions first before any type of blending motion. But pressed pigments can be a little bit trickier to work with. They take a little bit longer to blend out, and they can just be a little bit trickier to get the hang of as well. Like, sometimes they kind of have a mind of their own a little bit. And then I put on way too much lip balm, so let's fix that. And we're just gonna do some tapping motions of this color. I'm taking this little color switch thing and I am dusting off the rest of that pigment, and then I will go back in the more traditional, like, blending like motions with no product on the brush. Now we're going to start deepening up the look. Now, pressed pigments, this is where they can be a little bit trickier again to work with than typical eyeshadows. Pressed pigments sometimes don't like to play well with being layered. They can get kind of muddy, they can get kind of messy. It kind of just depends. Specifically, the Sephora pressed pigment formula doesn't really like to play well with being layered a ton, whereas an eyeshadow, you can pretty much layer almost as much as you want and it'll kind of blend out. But pressed pigments are not that way. They can be, like I said, a little bit trickier to work with, a little bit more moody. So I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to take the shade Coffee, which is this one right here. It's just a nice deeper brown. On a shimmer. I don't know which one I want to use between these two. They're both really pretty. They're both really pretty. So I think I'm actually gonna not do either of those shades. There's this really cool like maroon with like a blue purple reflect to it, which I think would look really cool. This is the shade Rosewood. It's this one right here. It has a really cool shift to it. You can kind of see when I move the palette around there. I think I'm gonna try that one on a flat brush and see what happens. Yeah, not that great. I didn't think it would be because it's a pressed pigment. Sometimes you have to use them with your finger. This shade isn't something special. It's kind of just like a normal shimmer. It doesn't have like a intense shift to it. It doesn't have a whole lot of sparkle. It's just kind of like a basic shimmer with just like a blue purple reflect to it. So it's not super intense and sparkly. So if you aren't a huge fan of like super shiny metallics, this would be a good option just because it's not super metallic. I love like the metallic super shiny kind of shimmer. That's like my favorite, but this is a really pretty color as well. So it has a really nice reflect. I could have gone a little bit darker in the crease because I originally was going to use a lighter shimmer, which we still can put something lighter on top. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a brighter look to it, like right in here. But I originally was going to use something lighter, like the two I originally swatched, but I don't know, something about I wanted to have that cool reflect, I guess. I don't know. I swatched it and I was like, all right, let's use this one. But I'm gonna put one of these just right in the front here. I'm not adding a whole lot of color. I'm just kind of brightening it up, and then I'm leaving the middle part kind of as is. That shade that I just put on was the shade Rosé, which is this one right here. It's one of those original ones that I swatched. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm going to deepen this up with like a plummy, purpley type of color. Croquis. Okay. So we're gonna take that shade Croquis, which is this one right here. It's kind of like the deepest pinky purple in the palette, like maroon, burgundy color. There's a black in here, but I don't want to go all the way to a black, at least not immediately. I'm gonna take Croquis. I was going to take some of that black and just deepen it up a little, but I kind of like the way that it's looking as is with just that burgundy maroon color. I think it would look really nice with the lipstick we're going to wear. So I'm actually not going to do that. A little bit of a shocker, but that's what I was intending to do, but not anymore. I am vetoing it. 'Tis gone. I kind of like it the way that it is. Now, of course, if you wanted to make it deeper, go ahead and do that. But for me, I'm gonna leave it, I think. I think it looks really good the way that it is. I think it'll look really nice once we have the lip and everything on. I don't know why I'm doing this motion, but I think it'll look really nice once we have that lip on. So let's go ahead and zoom you a little bit out. There we go. All right. I didn't actually end up needing that. Oh, I might for an inner corner. So let's actually keep that out. All right, we're gonna take the Winky Lux Dream Jelly Hydrator today to moisturize. This is, ooh, the lid's on really well. This is one of my favorite products ever. I'm just gonna kind of dip in. It has this wonderful jello consistency, and my dry skin loves like a jelly like consistency. Like it just loves it. So drink it up. I'm using a foundation today that is on the chopping block. This might be its last chance, so I want to make sure that my skin is really hydrated for this. Now the primer I'm going to be using is this one. This is the Merle Norman 24 karat gold firming foundation primer. Now I don't know if it's like firming, but it does leave a really nice kind of glow to the skin. So let's take a little bit of this, kind of dot it pretty much everywhere. Little glow. Now you can see the gold flecks on the skin, so I would not recommend this if you are not wanting to put foundation over top, because you can, like I said, see some of the little gold flecks. They don't really blend into the skin. All right, so the foundation I'm using today is this one. This is the Beauty Bakery Insta Bake in the shade 357WN. I believe this was discontinued. And I used to really like that. Like I used to like this foundation. And I don't know, I feel like lately every time I've used it, it just hasn't been my favorite. It's the Aqua Glass foundation. It's supposed to have like a really nice finish. I just don't know how I feel about it. So I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand. Take some on my brush. This was clearly bought in the winter time. Very light. I feel like it just looks dry. It just looks dry. I don't love that. Definitely feel like this is, it's dry. I feel like it looks dry. And